spoke about it a little bit. It can be either Google Sheet or product information management system. At the moment, I think you guys are all managing it in Seller Central, right? Yeah. So there's no other place where you're managing it. So I think the fastest way would be to actually download it from Amazon and then use that file as an input. So we can test out with one of your files maybe later on to see if that works well. Upload it in Google Sheet, and Google Sheets we can connect to Channel Engine as an input. So that's probably the fastest way to actually do it. And I think all the attributes are probably in there as well. So the next step is creating an account. Might be interesting to have a small look at maybe Cdiscount, because that's one of the bigger ones. Let's see if I can grab one of the smaller accounts and then you can have a look at it. Most of these logins are quite similar to Seller Central, but there's less options, less confusion if you're new to it. But because you guys are very used to Seller Central, it's going to be looking a little bit hard to find out. Luckily, they have it in English as well, so that's going to help. And apparently, they are pulling in some Chinese. So let me see. I'll just grab one of the clients' pages. You see, there's much less in the dashboard than when you go into Seller Central. There's a tutorial. Basically, it's just the catalog management, orders, some reports, and your seller performance. So you probably are going to miss a few things, but these are the basics, and that's all you need to actually start selling. So that's a good thing. There are a lot of things you can a lot of things are quite similar. So you see all your stock, which is being updated by Channel Engine all the time. Pricing is being updated, so basically you don't need to manage it here, but you can always log in and see what's happening. Cdiscount also has fulfillment by Cdiscount. How many of you have ever had a 3PL? Ever consider having a 3PL? Yeah, because we can. One of the things on the roadmap, on the short-time roadmap, is connecting the multi-channel FBA, supporting it. So if there are enough sellers that want to try it out, then I'm going to bump it up on the roadmap. We're going to connect multi-channel FBA, but if you guys say, well, we're going into a third-party logistics provider, might be good to have a look at which ones makes most sense for you guys, and then connect one of them. Maybe do a bundle deal where you can say, well, we've got a whole bunch of sellers with these products, and we think of this volume, and maybe Empower can help with that, and then we can try it out. So once you are set up with the Cdiscount, so you just go onto the website, create an account. You don't need to upload passports and utility bills and stuff like that. That's it. With all the others, it goes pretty fast. Once you have that, you can get an API key. First thing you do when you're in Channel Engine, you just click on Add a new channel. In this case, Cdiscount's already in there. And all you have to do is go to Channel Settings, put in your username, API username, and your password. Switch on or off if you want to send emails from Channel Engine. So if you have your own email sequence, might be smart to just switch it off and then use your own email sequence, adapt it a little bit to Cdiscount. What I would recommend is looking at the extension of the email or of the country where you ship it to, and then adapt the language of the email address, the email flows. Do you guys have a sort of a custom email flow? Yeah, it's easy to adapt to other languages as well. It's cool. Yeah. What kind of tools do you use for email flows? Sorry?
They were Amazon specific.
Amazon specific. All right. So. Sorry? Yeah, and is that connected only to Amazon, or can you just adapt it to? Yeah. All right. So we might have to use something like ActiveCampaign or other things. So we can help you set that up if you want. Next thing is that you are Next thing is creating a listing. So that's selecting, do you want to sell everything or just a small selection of it. So that's what I showed you yesterday. You can create any filters you want. As soon as you click on save, then it's going to be set and ready to go for the channel. And the next things are mapping. At the moment, I think it's going to be on Tuesday, we're going to release a new interface for this one to make it more advanced. But the main thing is that if you have a PIM system, product information management system, or catalog sheet, make sure the category is as deep as possible, as specific as possible, so you can map it to any other categories. So for instance, some of our clients have shoes, sporting shoes, and then they want to sell on Cool Shop, and they need shoes, sporting shoes, badminton shoes, high, low, etc. So it's important to have the most granular category setting in advance, so we can map it to any of the categories of all the other marketplaces. So if you don't have any category tree, you can always use something from Google. They have a huge category tree, which is also in here as well. So we can have that. Currently it works like this. If you want to map, in this case it's suitcases, you can just type, and they don't have suitcases yet. So in the new interface you can just grab it from channel, from Cdiscount, then you can just map the...
Like an auto suggest.
Auto suggest, yeah.
So if I can ask, on the left,
Yeah.
these are the mappings you have in your source file.
This is your source
And
file.
then on the right, you go through the
Yeah.
mapping of auto suggest, whatever's closest.
Yeah. So that makes sense to do it in each separate catalog. Luckily, you don't have that many products, so it can be quite fast. We've got clients that have something like 150 categories, so we do auto map, and then we've got a whole bunch of matches, and the rest is just doing by hand.
So I think on the pin, I mean, to future-proof ourselves, should we be building, putting our information into a centralised pin, or what sort of
I would recommend to use a PIM,
information?
product information management tool. And there are quite a few around. You can just and they're not expensive, so for even 10, 20 euros you can get a PIM. So one of the PIMs I recently saw, which is quite cheap, is Pleatix. Just have a look at it. There are quite a few more around. Basically, it's just a database store. So it doesn't really matter where you use it. But you can start out with Google Docs. So that's the main thing. Pricing rules. We talked a little bit about that. So if you just look at the different marketplaces, set the pricing rules. Most marketplaces have, just like Amazon, where you set the shipping prices within the Seller Central or within the admin. Some of the marketplaces, like bol.com, they want you to include it in your price. So you have to add a little bit on top of the price for shipment within the Netherlands or for shipment within Belgium. So you can, for bol.com, there are two major channels. You can have Seller Central, bol.com in the Netherlands and bol.com in Belgium, and you can have separate pricing rules as well. So, and also separate shipping times. So for the Netherlands, if you would have a 3PL or you would use another provider, and it can be much faster, so you can set those shipping rules. So for instance, if you go to bol.com and then the mappings, you can see the shipping time, cutoff time within 24 hours. So basically this is, if they order it before 9 o'clock at night, they'll get it the next day. If you say, well, I'm a little bit slower, you can just use one of those. If you have separate products, one shipping faster than the other ones, if there's some sort of characteristics in your product data, you can set advanced rules as well. So you can say, well, even if there's maybe even an EAN code. If the EAN code is in a certain list, then use one of the others. You can just use any field in your product, and this advanced mapping It goes for all the fields as well. If you would use, for instance, Amazon, you can also choose whether you're going to use FBA or merchant fulfilled. So when you decide to use a 3PL later on for all the marketplaces, and you want to use that 3PL for some of the products on Amazon because you ran out, and then we can automatically switch to merchant fulfilled. You can do that as well. And you can use it for both B2B and B2C. Does anyone ever sell on Amazon Business? Yeah? Doing well? Sort of? Yeah. Hmm?
Early.
It is still early, yeah, but the advantage is, especially for the business, of course,
I think in Europe it's relatively expensive because of the huge sales tax.
yeah, it's basically for the sales tax.
People are much more motivated in Europe. So
Yeah.
it's a huge business.
Yeah, it's just without VAT, that's the biggest difference. So for businesses ordering online, it makes sense to order on Amazon Business. So if you, and it's basically the same Seller Central, you just switch it on, register for VAT services, and then you can have it run.
With like, you know, us being Amazon guys, we're gonna want to start tweaking listings and changing stuff, testing.
Yeah.
Like, so would we be doing that for like little updates and things like that? Would we be doing that specifically on the platform? And then would that get, like with the sync issues, like how would you?
Yeah, I think the listing updating, when you go into a marketplace where it doesn't really matter, where you just have a good source and just push it towards Wish or something, then you won't tweak it that much. If you go into bol.com, I would recommend going into that login and tweaking it there to just optimize your listing, and then Channel Engine does all the synchronization and
So
stock
channel
levels.
will download your changes from Bull? So you don't like overwrite like?
Yeah, we're currently in the reworks of the mapping tool, so we're going to actually add that you could do it in Channel Engine, but we do not get as much feedback as the interface. So we're talking to them and other marketplaces as well to get the real-time feedback of the little optimizations. So that's in the works. So.
But like, so if I updated on bull.com, so
Yeah.
fields, do I run into issues of either Channel Engine overwriting my changes, or will
No.
Channel Engine pull my changes back? into
No,
the
the
system?
thing is, once you created the listing, that's of course it's your own listing, so we could update it from Channel Engine. We can switch it on or off, whether we do the overwrite of the content. So if you decide to do it in Channel Engine with the new mapping tools, it might make sense to do that. Before that, you can do it in bol.com, and we can just switch it off. So that's going to be something we're working on next couple of weeks. So that's probably before you guys start even. So we will have the new mapping screens, and I would love your feedback on it as well. So we're going to have a lot of tools, and also we're going to talk to the Greek guys to see.
Yeah, so as a matter of best practice, just to kind of tie that loose in, what we do is the master spreadsheet is the center thing that we always change.
Yeah,
We don't change anything else
No.
because that thing feeds in and then gets published out, right? So, and again, to the extent that you, and I want Jorrit to confirm or deny that this is possible, but everything for us goes in the center spreadsheet, the changes go out. If we see an optimization opportunity with an individual marketplace, we'll make a bol.com title, a bol.com description.
And you can map that one. Yeah.
And then we map that separately inside. So that master database in Google Sheets to start with is that's the point of origin. And everything flows from there.
Yeah.
And how often do you update from Google Sheets? You said 15 minutes?
We can set it any time. It depends on how fast people change it. So usually we set it depending on how fast it gets updated. So sometimes a file gets created every hour, so it doesn't make sense to pull it every 15 minutes, but we can do it up to every 5 minutes, and if someone connects to our API, we can do it instant. So that's it can be as fast as you want. And we can actually schedule it on certain times as well. Yeah. I just, yeah.
And also, we don't always want the
the changes on Amazon, for example, to be reflected in our master data set, because sometimes Amazon think they know better, and they change our listings.
Yeah.
They don't know.
No, it's only a push out towards Amazon. We don't get it from Amazon. We don't get it from bol.com. So that's why the source is important. And then we just push it out. And what Steve says is a smart way. Some of the clients do it as well. Very specific titles for certain marketplaces. What I would recommend is optimized as much as possible for Amazon, because these are the most advanced rules. And apply that, if it's in English, to all the other marketplaces, because that exact same thing is going to work on the other marketplaces as well. Saves you time, saves you a lot of headache, and you can just do it like that, and then have that optimized, maybe English title and text, have that one translated by a good translator, native translator that knows Amazon listings. You guys probably have one already, and then use that as a separate column in your data sheet, and we can map it to the marketplace. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, also when you created it and want to just see what happens, you can just download a file to see what products are in there, what columns are in there, and basically what we push towards the marketplace. The other thing is, of course, orders. We grab from all the marketplace, we grab all the orders. They come centralized in here. You can search on either your the marketplace order number or any other field in the data set. You can filter if it's merchant fulfilled or channel fulfilled, combination of any of the two. And you can also download it, load it to CSVs or Excel files to have a good look of it. Some people even use it in their own warehouse to just print out packing slips and put in track trace, etc. But I would recommend to connect it to either FBA multi-channel or 3PL, and then we just grab the track trace information from the 3PL and then send it back to the marketplace. Even if there are multiple shipments or you would have multiple warehouses, it's no problem to have multiple shippings on one order as well. What else would be interesting? Yeah, returns. Most 3PLs accept returns. Cdiscount does require a local return address. There are little companies that just are sort of freight forwarder, like a French address. You can send it there and they forward it to your 3PL back, so you can have the returns processed as well. Yeah. What else do you guys want to know?
Just general sales reporting for those orders, but is there like
Yeah.
a dashboard?
Yeah, we've got sales reporting. You can just select on any of the channels or multiple channels, select any period of time. And we've got all this. You can do drill down on any of the platforms, the sales, and you can drill down to the categories and the products underneath to see what sold and what didn't. So this is City Trip backpacks. And you can just go into all the products, see all the details. And this is quite empty one, but you can just go through the details. Also, there's an open API on the merchant side as well. So some of you guys have either developers or know people and want to do things with the data. So you can grab all the data that's in Channel Engine. You can manipulate it. You can grab orders, returns, statistics, even the invoices. You can just download them through the API. So that might help for some other tools you want to use, email flow, follow up, and stuff like that.
So do you get, I see you have like click costs there and conversion rate, do you get traffic data from some of the platforms?
Yeah, that's basically because Channel Engine doesn't only do marketplaces, we do also do comparison sites. So if you have a web shop, we get the product information, and then you can add comparison sites like Google Shopping and stuff like that. And there we track click cost, we track conversion rate, and then we can optimize the feed as well. But I think comparison sites are slowly gonna either transform into a marketplace or die. That's
It's very positive outlook.
yeah, especially because I wrote an article on the Dutch e-commerce site and about that topic. Some of them are changing and the rest is gonna disappear, I think.
They like the marketplace concept, Amazon's proved it, and it's not just the old comparison sites. Have you ever used a comparison shopping site?
I still use them, like Czech Republic, they're great.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
And are they moving to cost per sale model or?
I don't know, but I mean, they still dominate Google.
So when I said you guys use them, do you mean you use them to buy or use them
Buy.
to sell?
Buy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Correction. So as you use them, that user experience, you like that feeling, right? I know I'm getting a good deal or whatever. But I do think that their cost per click model is failing over, yeah, look at all those.
Yeah, this is one of our customers. This is actually the shop I used to own. And they are using it for the shop, all the data feeds for retargeting, for Google Shopping, for affiliate marketing, their own internal system. So they just, the same way you do it for the marketplace, you create filters and just push out all the products. But then with a link towards your shop, and we can track all the information as well.
This should be empowering for you guys when you have a website, right? You're like, well, I have a site, but I don't want to go, nuts on tons of different marketing. This can be a single origin point for marketing on at least comparison engines as they exist today. Driving stuff to your site for a fixed, budget or cost per click or whatever. And I don't know how it is in Europe, but Google PLA, the product listing ads.
Google Shopping works well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they still call it Google Shopping here?
Yeah, in Europe they call it Google Shopping. Yeah.
So Google product listing ads is what it's called in the US, but it used to be called Google Shopping here. But that is highly used because they inserted into Google results so aggressively. And so it's doing automatic keyword optimization and mapping, well, at least mapping. And bottom line is, if you want to have a website and you have enough items to rationalize it, it's a good thing to be on comparison engines, at least Google.
Yeah, definitely. Or many other local comparison sites, but they're slowly turning into marketplaces. We see, especially in the Netherlands, and I know in Germany, a couple of the comparison sites are turning into marketplaces. So instead of clicking out, they put in a buy button and then give the order. So as soon as one of the marketplace comparison sites does that, we'll just add them as a marketplace. And there's one hybrid one, so because they slowly have to move, they can do either clicks or marketplace. So I recommend doing the marketplace part. Any questions?
So tax reporting to be able to send information to tax to our accountants.
Yeah. What you can do is just go to the orders, download the CSV sheet, and it's got the VAT columns in there as well. And for tax reporting in Europe, of course, depends on how much volume you do to a certain country. What you do is, when you have a VAT number, for instance, in Germany, you go to this list when you go over the threshold, and then you put in the VAT number you received. So we grab 19% instead of 21, so stuff like that. Yeah.
With the VAT engine, let's say you've got like a legal entity in the UK and it's registered for VAT in the UK, Germany, and say France, but it's not registered in Italy, can you still handle that kind of scenario where you apply the right VAT depending on whether it's registered in that country or not?
Yeah, well, basically it's not very, it's not thinking for you, because we've got clients that sell on their regular site as well towards other countries, so we don't see the other volumes. So basically, as soon as you have a VAT number and you ship from one country to the other, then the VAT number, as soon as you put it in there and activate it, then it just calculates it. Yeah. Yeah. And I can imagine in a later scenario when people have a 3PL in the Netherlands and maybe FBA, and we're gonna adapt to that as well. So would like to talk to you about that.
So taxes are in my end, but can obviously if we work with that.
Yeah.
They're happy to have a chat.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, good. Let's
Thanks.
give it up for Jorrit.
Welcome.
I'm on Shopify at the moment. You guys don't plug in Shopify, right?
Sorry?
You guys can't work with Shopify at the moment?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, but we're gonna do it soon.
Set up a shopping cart that no one can see, just as a mechanism to be able to transact through.
Yeah, but what we're going to do with Shopify, because we get a lot of requests, is not only we're going to create a plugin on the supplier side. So if you have a shop, you can just push the products towards general engine and user marketplaces, but we got a lot of requests to also put it on the general side as well. So when you have one 3PL, one PIM system, we can push it to all the marketplaces and push it to Shopify. So then Shopify is a sort of a marketplace.
So if we're using Amazon to fulfill,
Yeah.
we need to go through a shopping cart, right?
Yeah,
But you can't do Shopify just now.
not yet, no.
Okay, cool.
No.
We can just do any other shopping cart just for this.
We've got a few other shopping carts, but I recommend to, it's not going to take long before we have Shopify because it's on high on our list, and then BigCommerce is following as well.